Special At the Book here live today from Caesars Sportsbook. I'm Jim Derry along with Trey Wingo, and Trey, there's just the excitement and the buzz around New Orleans. It's what you would expect, really.
Yeah. Listen, New Orleans is always fun. Let's be clear about that. And the Final Four should be in a place like New Orleans or Indianapolis every year because everything's right downtown. But this Final Four, Jim, you could argue is the greatest Final Four in the history of the tournament. It's the only one where every single school has multiple championships. North Carolina 6, Duke 5, Kansas and Villanova each have 3. These 4 teams have won half of the last 16 national championships. Combined, the 4 of them have 61 Final Four appearances. That's 10 more than any other Final Four in NFL history. Like, we all love the upsets, but I think I'd rather see the first ever Duke-North Carolina meeting in NCAA tournament history at the Final Four than Duke take on St. Peter's.
You know, what I find almost incredible in doing some research, it's the first time in NCAA history that all 4 teams have won a national championship within the past 14 years.
Yep.
I mean, you're talking about blue bloods. We talk about it all week long. I mean, you really couldn't ask for anything better than that.
You can't, and you know, the Duke-North Carolina game is going to overshadow it. You know, the symmetry, my God, he's going for Coach K his 6th national championship in his last season, which would tie North Carolina. They have an opportunity to stop that one more time and just end his career, and my God, would Carolina fans love that. But I feel like the Kansas-Villanova game is just like getting pushed. It's a great game.
It really is.
I mean, these 2 schools are amazing. This will be the 4th time they've played in the tournament since 2008. In each of the previous 3 times, the winner of that game went on to win the national championship. Kansas once and Villanova twice. So it's just insane.
Well, and that's exactly what I was going to say. Villanova-Kansas, any other Final Four,
they'd be the one.
It would be the highlighted game.
That would be the matchup. But, like, this is only the 2nd Final Four that North Carolina and Duke have ever been in at the same time. The last one, ironically, coincidentally, however you want to say it, was 1991. That was the year Coach K won his first national championship and beat Kansas in the final. They're also here. North Carolina lost in the semis to Kansas, and the highest score in that semifinal was a guard who put in 25 points, whose name is Hubert Davis, who is now the head coach trying to end Coach K's career.
Trey, let's talk a little bit about the matchups. And first with Villanova-Kansas, and do you know, if you're a Villanova fan, are you worried?
Yes.
You know, are you worried that
Yes.
Justin Moore is out?
Yes.
And they're not as deep as Kansas anyway.
They only go 7 to begin with. He's their 2nd leading scorer. The only way they're going to win is if they play lockdown defense and try and get points at the line. They just don't have the offensive creativity of Kansas, especially losing their 2nd leading scorer. That's 15 points a game. Their regional final was 50-44, I think.
Right.
They're going to have to lock it down. That's the only shot they have. I think they're coming in giving up 220 points over the first 4 games of the tournament. That's the lowest since 2015 when Duke came into the Final Four with 214 points allowed. That's the only way they're going to win. Kansas is better, Kansas is deeper, and I think the loss of those 15 points a game is going to be very tough for Villanova.
But don't you just feel like Jay Wright has something in the bag?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I love Coach K. I love Hubert Davis. You know, I love Bill Self. But there's just something about Jay Wright that just sparks. We're going to find a way.
He's got a chance to win his 3rd title in 6 years.
That's amazing.
It's ridiculous. And
Versus John Wooden, that would be.
yeah, and he's the most gangster coach of all time. When that game winner hit a few years ago, he didn't flinch. He's like, yeah, all right, expected that to go in. Yeah, crazier things have happened, but it would be next level crazy. I just think with that loss is so significant.
I'll ask you your thoughts and you'll get your prediction in a minute. But obviously, Duke, North Carolina, you touched on it. It's what everybody's talking about. I watched all the sports shows this morning, and it's like a little blip, Villanova-Kansas.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to talk to Carolina. To me, I don't know which one we're going to get. I don't know if there's an in-between. Are we going to get the Duke-Carolina game that was in Chapel Hill?
They got blown out by 20.
Or are we going to get this Duke-Carolina game where Carolina blows Coach K's home finale?
Yeah, look, I mean, there were over 100 former Duke players at Cameron
Yeah.
for that game, and they were ready to celebrate. It was going to be a coronation, and North Carolina said, hold my beer. Right? That's exactly. And after that game, Coach K had one of the greatest lines. He said, today was unacceptable, but it's been a good season, but this season isn't over yet, and walked off the floor. I got chills just thinking about that, and I have a feeling that speech maybe said, before they take the floor tonight at around 7:09 our time here in New Orleans. Look, if North Carolina's going to win, this is the place they want to be. The two Dean Smith National Championships both took place in then the Superdome and now the Caesars Superdome. And remember, they were both weird. Yes, Fred Brown, after the Michael Jordan jumper,
that's right,
tossed the ball to James Worthy at sealing that win. And then in '93, Chris Webber, the timeout, he didn't have technical foul. So if North Carolina makes the final, they're going to win in the weirdest way possible. I'm convinced of that. I just don't know if Duke's going to let that happen to them twice.
I was lucky enough to be at both of them. So just want to flashback. It's hard to believe that the Jordan game was 40 years ago.
We're old, bro.
I mean, we really are. 40
old.
years ago. It's insane. The atmosphere. What have you seen since you've been here? And obviously being the trends officer for Caesars. Just, we're here at 11 a.m. and this place is buzzing.
It's jumping.
What is just the atmosphere that you've seen around here?
There's the energy that New Orleans brings for one of these things is unlike almost any other city. I mean, really, like whether it's a Super Bowl or a Final Four, I love it when it's in a downtown central area where you just get the sense that something's big is going on. You know, when they had the Super Bowl or the Final Four in Dallas, there's Dallas, there's Fort Worth, everything's 40 miles apart. Same thing in Arizona, where it's in Glendale, or it's in Scottsdale. When you can have a centralized location, like here, Indy, San Diego, or San Antonio was also a great place for a Final Four because all down by the river, it just gives a different energy. And, last time I was here in New Orleans was for the national championship a couple years ago when LSU did their thing on Clemson. And it's that same energy, that same vibe here. It's just special when it's here.
And Caesars is just an exciting time. What a great time to get this sportsbook open. And I know this is just a temporary site, but to have this sportsbook open in time for these people to be able to enjoy this, I mean, this is what it's about.
It absolutely is. And look, we're thrilled to be here and thrilled to be in Louisiana. This place is, the numbers have been great and they're going to continue to be great. We're just so excited to be part of this journey and to make sure this thing is up and running by the time the Final Four got here is fantastic.
All right, if people watching this want to know, I want to go to Caesars Sportsbook, I want to place a little wager, I want to do it on my app. What does Trey Wingo think? Duke -4, Kansas -4, what do you think?
I'm taking Kansas and giving the 4. The other one is so hard. I think Duke's going to win, but I don't want to give anything in that situation. Right. So I'll take Duke to win, but give me Carolina and the points.
Sounds good. Now, before I let you go, I mean, look, if you live in New Orleans and you're a fan, and most of the people that watch the show are from New Orleans, how surprising, I guess, and I know that the Lakers were only a 1-point favorite last night, but for the Pels to be able to go to LA with LeBron back, with AD back, they knew they had to win the game. And the Pels find a way to win this game. And all everybody's talking about is the Lakers didn't win. No one's talking about the Pelicans. This is a team that could be scary.
Listen, if Zion can come back in any way, shape, or form this season, they can be. Obviously, the Lakers, with everything that goes around them, it's just a different universe. And I love the fact that LeBron, I'm done for the season. Yeah. That didn't take long.
Yeah, right.
We're out? Okay, see you later. We'll talk to you down the road. No, but the Pels are an interesting story because they've had every reason to fold all year long, and they haven't. And you have to respect that. And now they have a real opportunity, and hopefully Zion, I was talking to someone with the Pels last night, hopefully Zion will be back sooner than people think.
Willie Green, to me, at least deserves votes for Coach of the Year.
Oh, absolutely.
To think of the start and all the injuries that this team had, and to be able to keep them together, and you can tell they love playing for this guy, and he's a guy that doesn't have a lot of emotion, but he had a little fist bump last night.
Listen, when you play 82 games, okay, that's the whole point. Like you have to find a way to get through the doldrums and find a way to deal with the ups and downs, and he's done that on a team that has had a bunch of reasons to quit. And that's the thing that I think people need to respect about the job he's done, because it's really easy when it's going poor in late January and February to say, man, screw this.
Yeah.
And they have not checked out. And that's that. I think that's the biggest responsibility for a head coach in the NBA.
Lastly, the Saints, I found it interesting here at Caesars. The odds went from 50-1 to win the Super Bowl to 40-1 to win the Super Bowl. We thought, well, not we, but New Orleans thought we were getting Deshaun Watson. Drops to 18-1. Don't get Deshaun Watson. Jameis is the quarterback. Is that that much craziness, it goes back to 50 to 1. I find that insane.
Well, listen, let's look at it a better way. You have the second best odds to win the NFC South at plus 500. Obviously, the Bucks are minus 270.
Right.
It's really weird. Like, I ran into Dennis Allen and Jeff Ireland last night at the Derry's Rucker concert. We were talking about this. And then I ran into Andy Dalton at breakfast right across the street. We were talking about that. So I'm assuming I'll see Alvin Kamara for lunch and Taysom Hill somewhere for dinner or at the Final Four tonight. The Saints are interesting. They were really good last year when Jameis was their quarterback. They were really good. Then he got hurt in the game against the Bucks.
And still won 9 games.
They still won 9 games. I think the win total right now is 7.5. I might take the over on that one. I love Dennis Allen. I think he got a raw deal as the head coach in with the Raiders. I'm trying to remember where they were.
Yeah,
Oakland,
right.
Vegas, LA. I think they were in Oakland. They've won with defense now, and that's going to have to be the way. Like, they had I think they used 58 players last year, by far the most in the NFL. It was absolutely ridiculous. If they can get stability at the quarterback position, they'll be in the hunt all year long.
Trey Wingo.
Thanks for joining us here at Sportsbook. The Sportsbook. We love it. Oh, look.
Who's that over there right there?
Never seen them. See you guys.
You'll see some stars. We got one here. Trey Wingo. I'm Jim Derry. Behind the scenes, Devin Jackson. Thanks for joining us here.